slowly chipping away at that huge deficit of publishing my first completed series. Hello writers in training, I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name of S.C. Houston and author of the Clash of Goddesses series. Welcome to my channel where I show writers like you how to develop your writing skills and self-publish your work. July was a slow month compared to the whirlwind of June, but I also barely spent any money on my books, which means I decreased my deficit. Let's look at the numbers for July using the new KDP reports. I left the ebook for Blood of the Lily at 99 cents for the rest of July and moved up the other two books to full price. For Blood of the Lily, I had 3 ebook sales with earnings of $1.05, and I also had 1 paperback sale for earnings of $4.85. And I also had 244 KENP for earnings of 96 cents. All earnings together comes to $6.86. Let's add all these numbers to previous figures from June. The total number of books sold is now at 134, and total KENP is 4,863 for total earnings of $266.05. I plan to do some more book promotions in future months, but I wanted to take some time off with all of the promotions that I ran in June. I also stopped my Amazon ads to test what happens when they're not running. So the only thing I spent money on this month would be the monthly share of the yearly costs of the subscription to Story Origin in the amount of $8.33. Added to the previous marketing costs gives me a new total of $1,263.06. My new and current deficit for Blood of the Lily is $1,729.11. This was an increase of my deficit by $1.47. Not bad, especially when I have 2 other books with sales. Next is Soul of a Rose. It only had 100 KENP read for earnings of 43 cents. So the total number of KENP increased to 4,673 for total earnings of $186.55. My new and current deficit for Soul of a Rose is $1,220.19. A slight decrease. Last is Tears of the Marigold. It had 2 ebook sales for earnings of $7.19, 1 paperback sale for earnings of $3.64, and 1,231 KENP for earnings of $5.29. All earnings together come to $16.12. The total number of my books sold is now 168, and total KENP is 2,007 for total earnings of $100.08. My new deficit for Tears of the Marigold is $1,061.54. A larger decrease in the deficit, although this is still not highly significant. Combining all book numbers together, I have sold 556 books with 11,543 KENP for total earnings of $552.68. Marketing costs increased to $1,400.39, which makes a new grand deficit of $4,010.84. Yay! An overall decrease of $15.03. It's small, but it's moving the right way. I won't be doing big promotions on this series for a long time, so hopefully this decreasing trend will continue for most months. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and happy writing.